Hey Goanna fans, and welcome to what should have been our December video, even though it's now January. In this episode we're going to cover exercise. I've been promising it, I've been putting it off, but we finally got around to it. We've got our December doctor's report, which was a little bit good and a little bit not so good, but we filmed it all. We'll be able to get that to you this episode. And also some exercises that you can do if you're just starting out, and also some that if you've been doing it for a while. Now, first off, the great news. When I started this, I had a 48-inch waistline. I am now down to a 42-inch waistline. Possibly even a little bit smaller. I mean, I still, without a belt, the 42-inch pants, it still slip off. So, it may be smaller. I haven't actually used a tape measure. I'm not actually being that precise. But feels good. Got a lot more energy. Starting to do things I used to do when I was a kid. Like when I was a teenager, I'm starting to get the same urges, the same energy to go out and do those crazy things. Now, when you are gigantic, like I was, and hopefully a few of you out there are as well, and you're taking this step to get going, let's face it, we don't jog. We don't do push-ups. We don't run laps. We don't swim laps. We don't, do jumping jacks or any of that other crazy stuff. We don't. We can't. It's not going to happen. But there are a few exercises you can do to get you on your way. Now, the first thing is you've got to make sure it's fun. It's got to be fun, or you're not going to keep it up. You're not going to keep coming back to it. So when I started, I actually found my mother's going to hate this, but playing video games. I found an active video game that I really enjoyed, and that was a boxing one. So I started out just shadow boxing, which I found a lot of fun. Now to start with, I could only do 2 minutes. 2 tiny minutes, that's all I could do, and then I was shagged out. I was puffing and panting and couldn't move. But you keep doing that 2 minutes a couple of times a day, and sooner or later, now I can go for a few hours. It's absolutely fantastic. And when you start that leads on to other things, and then you gradually incorporate more exercise. So it's one of those things. The more you do, the more you can do, the more you want to do, and also, unfortunately, the more you have to do. Because when you start out, you're carrying all this weight, and you only have to do a very small amount because you're carrying an extra 120 pounds of weight on your shoulders with all the exercise you're doing. You don't need to do that much. But then when you lose that weight, that's like taking the weights off. Instead of putting extra weights on you as you get stronger, you're actually taking these weights off because you're losing all that weight. So you've got to do more to compensate. And that's something I struggled with a little bit at first. But you'll find you reach a point where you want to. You really, really want to, which is great. It's a great feeling. But a few good things to start off with are squats. Now, if you've got to do some exercise anyway, like say you're walking the kids to school, or you've got to walk down the shops, that's another thing as well. If it's close enough to walk, then do that. Walk. You don't need to take the car. But if you've got to walk somewhere, you can really maximise it. Do a few squats before you go. Really get your leg muscles burning, and then do your walk. It just maximises that entire walk, and you'll get so much more out of it. Really great for you. Another great one is just resistance exercises. The one I love doing, which really helps shape your shoulders, and you don't need any weights or anything else, is take your hands, bring them up behind you, roll your wrists out so the top of your wrists are facing the roof, and just push as hard as you can, going diagonally backwards and out. Hold that for 5 seconds and really push as hard as you can. Put all your effort into it. And that will be like lifting the heaviest weight that you can as well, because you're putting all your effort into that. And then swap it over. Roll your wrists up to the roof again. Oh, it's like a big morning stretch, pushing up and backwards hard as you can. Really get the most out of that stretch, and you tones those muscles as well. Now, of course, the key to losing weight is to use more energy than you're taking in. That's as simple as it is. It doesn't matter what diet you're on. You're going to lose weight if you're burning more calories than you're eating. It's as simple as that. And to get the most out of it, the larger the muscle, the more calories it burns. So if you're exercising your core, it's going to learn a lot more than if you're just using what I call it, just flexing your arm and working on your forearms, because it's a larger muscle and it uses more energy. But this also, say you're driving along, you can clench all these stomach muscles. Yeah, and just have fun. Play games with yourself. Play games with your children. If you don't have children of your own, borrow somebody else's children. Yeah, they won't mind. They won't mind. They come back a little bit damaged, a little bit bruised. It's fine. Okay. But probably ask first. Maybe take up a new hobby. Take up juggling. So it doesn't matter if you drop the balls, because you do those squats. And when you bend down to pick up those balls, make sure you bend properly. And you do those squats and you get more exercise that way. Put on some music. Teach yourself how to dance. Maybe revisit some childhood experiences. I used to train with the nunchucks quite a lot. But grab a pair of sticks and swing them around your head. And all these childhood experiences are going to come flooding back to you, and you are going to feel absolutely fantastic. Now, we'll have a quick look at the doctor's video.
So I'm Dr. Tan. So I've been seeing Jason on his journey since the 26th of September this year. So at that time, I'll just go through some of his stats for you. So he was 138.2 kilos. Which is a BMI of 41.3. His blood pressure was high at 148 on 95, and then he started to embark on a diet and an exercise program. So I think he just wants to talk about the diet first.
Well,
right?
yeah. Well, as you guys know, we were just on a cup of soup for breakfast and a couple of small tins of tuna for lunch, with a giant helping of basically anything green and leafy, fibrous, watery, snow peas. What else did I have? I can't remember. Snow peas, carrots, zucchini, vegetables, and a huge big portion of barramundi or salmon, which has been working really well. And you said this would be quite appropriate.
Yeah, so all those things are quite appropriate. So you're getting good proteins with good fats within those oily fishes, and then also lots of minerals and nutrients from the vegetables, and even not so much, well, hardly any sugar from the sounds of that diet.
No, none at all.
I think they're all quite good sources of nutrients.
And a huge amount of herbs as well, which contain a lot of the vitamins, and the ginger, which was fantastic for my cholesterol. My cholesterol was way out of whack.
Yeah, so his cholesterol was very high. It was 9.8 as a total cholesterol, which is very high. His triglycerides, which are the not good fats, are 4.7. He had low HDL, which is your good fats, at 0.8. So overall,
that is low, 0.8.
Yeah, so his total total cholesterol, the cholesterol profile was not so good, but we've yet to repeat those, so hopefully we'll find out how this diet has affected that in a couple of months.
Well, I'm feeling better. I've got a lot more energy. So we are now virtually halfway. 1 week off 3 months, I think, or just about there.
Yeah.
So the new diet, which we just talked about briefly, is going to be Wheat Bix for breakfast, which is a whole grain, which is a complex carb and takes longer to digest. Then I've actually found a zero fat yogurt, zero fat, zero sugar. It's basically just protein.
Yeah.
And cram that full of walnuts, which are far too tasty. Because walnuts are basically fat, but at least they're good fats.
Yeah, that's right.
I think the walnuts are omega-2.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly which omega they are, but they're a good fat. And
they're either
lots
2
of
or
protein.
3, so
yeah.
it's what we're looking for anyway. So I'm super keen. Oh, blood test.
Blood test?
No, blood pressure. Thank you. Save me the pain. And then I'm super keen to check my weight. When I first started coming to see Dr. Tan, I couldn't even weigh myself. I was considered morbidly obese. In other words, I was so fat I was going to die. And my scales at home would not take my weight. So hopefully now I have reached the point 3 months in, well, nearly 3 months. I've got another week to hit that 3-month level. I'm hoping we've reached a level where a normal set of scales will actually hold me. I was looking back at a photo taken a couple of months ago when I took the girls for a camel ride, when they have the camel rides out there. And it is so embarrassing when you take your kids out there and you are too fat to get on the camels. Fixing all of that.
His blood pressure now, I don't know onto the screen, is really good. So like I said before, it was 148 and 95 before, and now it's within the normal limits, which is very good.
Fantastic.
If you want
Okay, so we will end down. We can put it down. Okay.
So it was 138.2 and now it's 117.8.
So not as much as I would have liked.
So it's 20 kilos. I think you need to, I know that you may be wanting to shift more than that, but that's really good. Just be happy with, that effort as well.
Well, that is enough to get down on a normal pair of big weight on normal scales now.
Yeah, so that's good. So that's good. Is there anything else that you wanted to
No, not really.
Don't be disappointed, Jason. That's really good, and you're doing it in a healthy manner.
So as you can see from that video, that was on the 22nd of December. It's now the 10th of January. So, we've moved on a bit from there. But as you said, we've only lost 20 kilos, dropped down from 138 to 117. Now, the reason why you shouldn't feel too bad if the same thing is happening for you is because we're doing more here than just losing the weight. Now, the whole idea of this is not a fad diet. Forget all your fad diets. The idea is to come up with a new eating strategy which you can continue, form new habits, something that's sustainable and you can keep doing, well, forever if you want to, because it makes you feel good. So we're not too worried anymore about that really fast weight loss. The second reason is, although we are losing all this weight, we're also putting on a lot more muscle tone. My arms, my chest, everything is just starting to reform back to when it was when I was 20, which is also a fantastic reason, which is another reason why the weight hasn't dropped off so quickly. Now, we have just had Christmas, and a lot of people struggle with the Christmas holidays. What to do, what can you eat, all these temptations are about. Well, that's the beauty of this diet. It's called Eat Yourself Thin, and we are supposed to be eating If you've watched the videos and you've gained the knowledge, you know the types of foods you should be eating. So when you've got these big Christmas banquets, go towards the things which you know are good for you, like the prawns. Prawns, beautiful seafood, no fat on them. Eat as many as you want. Eat till you're full. Prawns are great. Yeah, and Christmas Day, it's a once a year thing. I tried 3 different types of cheesecake, homemade ice cream, and something else. Oh, that's right, banana caramel pie. They're all fantastic, and still losing the weight. You get that little bit of exercise in, and I'm not talking you eat the whole thing, but just try some, reward yourself. And you'll still find that this new approach to eating, and a lot of these foods that I'm telling you to try, you may have tried them in the past and absolutely hate them, and you look at this now and say, there's no way I'm eating that. But here's the thing, I used to hate a lot of these foods too. But when you tell yourself, when you explain to yourself the good aspects of them, like that yogurt, no fat, no sugar, natural yogurt, and you try it, and it's just sour. But when your body realizes, no, this is what I need, you will actually start craving it. And, you'll go out at ridiculous times during the day to buy some, because you're craving it. Your body knows what it wants. And you'll start to find these foods that you absolutely hated, you now start to love. So this is going to be the last video that I rant and rave and carry on and try and get my point of view across. We're still going to have follow-up videos. Like, we're only 3 months through a 6-month program, so we've got another 3 months. We're only halfway there, as you can see. We're not quite there yet, but we are getting closer. So the next few videos, I'm going to check in. I'm going to show you how I'm doing. Hopefully you're doing just as well. And I'm going to share some of the recipes I've been coming up, because I've been eating like this for 3 months now, and I have put a few new variations and spins on things. So that's what we're going to be doing for the rest of the videos. So remember, eat smart, eat healthy, and eat yourself full. Be fed and happy every meal. And I hope you have a great year.